If I'm tight enough, I can so a lock. That's already enough, right? Now we're gonna do one of my favorite techniques ever, the arm triangle from mount. It's one of the basic techniques, it's one of the best techniques in existence, and we're gonna go a bit through the details and how you can finish it even with just one arm. So let's do it. Yes. Nein. So the arm triangle, boom, it's just this one. And it occurs any time that I may pass to the outside of his elbow with my neck, right? So again, it's an elbow exposure move, like the armbar, for example, but this time the neck needs to pass. So in the basics, when we want to learn just the move, I will push his elbow to the side for whatever reason. I just push so it crosses our middle line, and I insert my hand here and my neck low. I want to bring the side of my neck, the trapezius, here on his delts, and exit to the side, right? And I want to push with my neck, his neck into my elbow pit, right? So my bicep closes. And now if I'm tight enough, I can just lock with one hand. So watch again. So wham, up, tight. Now it's very difficult for him to free his elbow. So usually now I'm gonna lock the hands, right? So now I've got a tight wrap around his neck, bring my head low, I exit to the side mount. Make sure, white belt detail, do not lift the leg like so or he will grab it to a half guard, annoying. I exit with the foot first and sneak to the side. Now I need to make sure that my forearm is 90 degrees to his spine line. Look, and my upper arm as well. So one of the most common beginner mistakes is to push your shoulder into his jaw. And again, it's uncomfortable, but likely not enough to make him tap. So I'm 90 degrees, lock, and then it just needs a tiny bit of a squeeze, right? Let's let some air flow into just his brain. Fresh blood in. Okay. So look, next detail will be that my elbow of the arm that's in is on the floor. If it's off the floor, I push with my neck and my chest to push my elbow on the floor, and I create more exposure on my hand here on this side. Look, there's a lot of exposure. So I lock and I bring my head low on the floor, right? And that's already annoying for him, right? Is it? Mm-hmm. I'm not even using any kind of tension. I'm locking my hands, and then I bring my chest towards the floor as well. And I make sure that my chest is not laying on his chest. So I want as little of my chest area connected to his chest area as possible. I want to slide off to the side. Slide off. So from here, lock, 90 degrees, head down, and I'm sliding in, right? And when he's not using much resistance, that's already enough, right? To close, make sure it's very unnatural. It's counterintuitive. So you want to pull your elbow in, your shoulder forward, but that's wrong. Because that just creates rotation on his neck. And he can resist rotation fairly well. If I push against his chin, it's really strong. If I pull against his neck, he's really strong. I want to have compression. So I want to have a wrap around his neck, and I want to compress it. It doesn't need a lot of compression. That's the cool thing about it. It doesn't need a lot. If I compress that hose that is his neck, just like half an inch, a centimeter or more, that's enough. His trachea collapsed, he cannot breathe, tiny bit more, and his arteries are closed, no fresh blood to the brain or from the brain, doesn't matter. And he will tap or take a little nappy time. So what I need to do is, this wrap here, this circle, needs to become smaller. So it's circular. Cue for beginners, the hand that is around the neck, the active hand, is being pulled biceps, delts, chest towards your other chest, like so. Right? That's the motion. That's the motion. So from here, lock, head down, elbow down, chest down, and now I just activate my biceps a bit. Boom, that's enough. That's already enough. So now how do we get to it? Usually one of my favorite setups, I think it's good for beginners as well, is pushing the hand, right? And usually he will try to not go for Americano, right? But I can hold it, I can take the arm, and now if I got that wrist, it's very difficult for him to free it. And very likely that, yes, he even, not purposefully, accidentally creates a bit of elbow exposure, enough for me to enter, lock, come to the side, and squeeze. That's the arm triangle, guys. And that's how you do an arm triangle. It's one of my all-time favorites. It's one of the best moves ever if you're like stuck here and try to crunch a lot. But it's also a very technical move if you know how to create the wraps, how to create a noose around the neck of your opponent. You can finish it with very little force, and it's got a gazillion different attack points and different setups, which we're gonna have a look at in another video. If you like it, drop a comment, hit the subscribe button, and see you next time.